So, what is palliative care? So, palliative care for children and young people with life-limiting conditions is an active and total approach to care. It embraces physical, emotional, social, and spiritual elements. So, predominantly, it focuses on quality of life of the child and the support of the family, and includes management of distressing symptoms, provision of respite, and care through death and bereavement. So, essentially, bereavement, or to bereave, is to be deprived of a close relation or friend through their death. So, what is the origin of palliation? So, it first originated from the medieval Latin verb palliate, meaning to cloak or shield. So, essentially, John Sharp in 1714 spoke of cloaking or masking of symptoms. To quote, he said, "He is but half a physician. He hath palliated our sores and diseased, but he hath not removed them." So medically therapeutic intent has further shifted to the use of non-curative therapies. So how does the needs of children differ to those of adults in palliative care? Well, firstly, the number of dying children is smaller than that compared to the number of adults. Also, secondly, many childhood conditions are rare, although the child may survive into adulthood. Palliative care may last days or even years. So thirdly, the family bears a heavy responsibility for personal nursing care. And fourth to this, the continuing development of physical, emotional and cognitive domains is reflected in their communications skills and affects their understanding of their disease and death. So the difference between children and adults in palliative care is it's necessary to understand the grieving process between the two and the way the grieving works. So with children, there is an associative loss of something more than just a parent, pet or sibling to a friend. So the grieving process a palliative carer needs to analyse with this age group is the stage of mental and emotional development the child is at, and patterns of family interaction and communication, as well as their previous experience with death. So what I mean by this, by associative or associated losses with death itself, say for example you have a parent, so the child will also now have a loss of security, memories or feeling with that person after the death of the parent. And if you're looking at something like the death of a sibling, the child will have an increased sense of vulnerability with death and a loss of protector and playmate. And this actually usually prompts the child to question the meaning of life or death after the loss of a sibling. So a palliative carer will discuss death with the children in consideration to the child's developmental understanding, and they'll keep the explanation simple. So the future aims of palliative carers, well, essentially the aim of the palliative care is to continue to provide the best possible quality of life for both people approaching the end of their life and for their families and carers. So it aims to remain a holistic approach to care and support, and it takes into account emotional, physiological and spiritual needs as well as physical needs. So pain control is central to the concept of the palliative carer. So freedom of pain allows people to come to terms with their approach to death and enables them to make arrangements for the future of others who depend on them, as well as to live as fully as possible for as long as possible. So the World Health Organization defines palliative care as an approach that affirms life and regards death as a normal process, and does not hasten or postpone death. So this essentially provides relief from pain and other symptoms, and offers a support system to help patients to live as actively as possible right up to the time of death, and obviously integrates psychological and spiritual care as well as providing a wider support to help with the family cope during the patient's illness and their own bereavement after death. So the support for caregivers is an essential part of palliative care, whether they be family members or professional carers. So professional carers, an integral part of providing palliative care is to work with families and friends to ensure effective communication. So thank you, and I hope you've enjoyed this presentation.